3, 2, 1.
Glowing Up Latina, Season 2, Episode 15.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Glowing Up Latina.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm Christina.
I'm Amanda.
and I'm Liana.
What is up, you guys? Happy Women's History Month.
Happy Women's History Month. Wow, what a struggle it is to be a woman in modern day America.
You're not wrong. I think this is the first episode we're actually recording in March, right? Because the first episode that came out in March was I don't even know where we are. Honestly, my head is not there.
This is the third one because there's like about 5 Wednesdays, I want to say, in March right now. So this is the third. There's 5 Wednesdays in March. So this is the third episode in March right now.
Damn, 5 Wednesdays and I only get paid 2 times this month. That doesn't feel right.
Oh,
I know.
that hurts.
But you're on the
No,
opposite schedule, so you get paid 3. Yes, you do, bitch.
I'm so fucking excited. You have no fucking clue. I'm like, one more other Friday after this Friday? Yes. Run me my money.
Okay, yeah. So last week we took the week off, as y'all know. As Liana said, we've been busy ever since we hit the ground back in the US from Jamaica. I don't know what it is. This first quarter of the year has been really busy. And I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on. It is what it is.
How was y'all's weekend? Did y'all get to rest at all?
Yes. Home. Was home. Yeah. Did some laundry, did some cleaning. I cooked a whole lot this weekend. Liana, I finally perfected my rice.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I finally perfected my rice. I took your tips and then my coworkers / friends, they helped me out. They're also Dominican, so they also helped me out with some rice tips. And I was like, yes, got you. And I made rice 2 days in a row. I have to stop.
Nice.
I have to stop making rice though.
Yay. Now you have to make some for me so I can try some.
Oh, no pressure.
What about you, Liana? What did you do?
How's your weekend?
My weekend was good. Had family bingo night the other day, so that was really fun. Didn't win any money, but that's okay. The bonding experience was what it's worth. And then Sunday stayed home. Domestic housewife stuff. It was great. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Very nice.
How about you, Christina?
Christina.
I also saw family this weekend. My mom and my cousin were in town, and that was super fun. Love seeing my mother. Kind of wish I had gone back to Texas, but I get to stay here and it's snowing, so that's fun, I suppose. It's pretty cold there too, though.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, Amanda, what were you going to ask? I think I know what you're going to ask.
Did you come across any encounters, any people along the way?
So funny that you would ask that because I actually did. We freaking saw Shakira, not once, but twice. We saw her car was leaving. So she was on Jimmy Fallon on, I guess that would have had to have been Thursday, maybe, or Friday, because I got in Thursday. She was on Jimmy Fallon, and I guess she was leaving rehearsal because it was kind of in the middle of the afternoon. So her car was leaving. We saw these people going crazy, and I was like, what is happening? And my little cousin who came to visit, she found out that it was Shakira, and she was like, oh my God. So then we saw her there. Then we took her to Times Square afterwards, and we went to the M&M store, and she wanted to make personalized M&Ms, but the section was blocked off. And I was like, what the heck? Why is it blocked off? And all these people were over there. And everybody kept going like, it's Shakira, it's Shakira. I was like, we just saw her. What is she doing here? And she was there with her kids and
That's
her 2 sons. Yeah.
cool.
So when we were leaving, like we were like, okay, we'll just come back and do the M&Ms another day because we were gonna go see a show the next day anyways.
Mhm.
We were like standing at because it was raining. And so we were standing at the exit,
Yeah.
like getting everything together. And I hear this woman walk by just speaking Spanish. And I just thought it was a woman speaking Spanish to her like kids. No, it was freaking Shakira walking by to leave the thing. And I was like, oh my God. And I literally I'm standing there drinking a bottle of water. And I was like, holy shit, that's Shakira. And then I just didn't know what to do. I just stood there.
Oh my God.
Like photographic memory, just her just passing by. You're
Literally.
like,
She's so
oh.
teeny. She's so pretty. Oh my God.
Yes, she is very beautiful. She is. I think she doesn't like age a bit. I think she continues to look the same. Fantastic. Her hips don't lie. It's crazy. Like just she looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful. Oh, that's so cool. And then for your cousin,
Crazy.
was that your cousin's first time in
Yeah,
New
that
York
was
City?
literally her first time in New York. So
That's it. Nobody can top that. Nobody can top
right. That's
that.
what she was saying. She
No,
said she had
that's
the
it.
best trip out of everybody.
Oh,
Aw.
that's nice.
Yeah. And then we went to see Funny Girl, which was really good
Oh.
because we both really like Glee. Like I'm really into Glee in high school and she
Mhm.
watched it like here recently and Leah Michelle is now Funny Girl on
Mhm.
Broadway. So it was a
Mhm.
really good show. Man, that woman is talented. It's crazy her
Yeah.
voice. But I hear she's not a nice person, so
Yeah.
Shakira, very
I heard the
nice
same.
on my like minimal encounter with her. Love her.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
So, you never know
Life
what
in the
happens in
Big
New York
Apple.
City. It's crazy living here.
Mhm.
But speaking of all of these women, so it's Women's History Month, as we mentioned. And today we're going to give you a little history lesson, if you will. History that you probably didn't get in school. We're going to be presenting you with a couple of Latinas you should know. I've done some research. Amanda and Liana brought a person that they think everybody should know. And so I guess we're going to get started with that. I'm pretty excited for this episode because I feel like a lot of emphasis is put on like the Latino not characters, sorry, that's the wrong word. Latino people in history, like the male people. The male people.
Yeah.
Um,
The male people.
yeah. So it'll
Male
be
figures?
there we go. That's what I was looking for. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to share these like inspirational women that I found. Okay.
Excited. Yes. Discuss mine. Yes.
So the first woman that I found, her name is Ellen Ochoa. She was born in Los Angeles, California. I don't know why I said that's so strange. She was born in Los Angeles, California. Her paternal grandparents immigrated from Sonora, Mexico. She has a bachelor's of science in physics from San Diego State University. And then she went on to earn her master's of science and a doctorate from Sanford Development of Electrical Engineering. So she is the first Latinx person in space. And her first space mission was on April 8th, 1993. And she is the first Latina to go to space. She spent 9 days on her mission aboard the Discovery, where the team researched the effects of the sun on the environment of the Earth. And her job was to launch a satellite into space and then return it to the shuttle 2 days later. And she had about a 10-year career. And in that 10-year career, she logged about 1,000 hours in space over the course of 4 missions. And like 2 of those
Wow.
missions were after she had kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
No
And
excuses.
and nowadays she is the first Latinx director of the Johnson Space Center and the second woman to hold that position.
Wow. That's amazing.
Women
I
in
feel like
STEM.
my mom is a Spanish teacher and she definitely has covered Ellen Ochoa a couple of times. That's really cool. Yeah. My mom has done like essays upon essays of research and I'm just like, Mom, that's a lot. She said, there's so many. And I'm like, okay, great. Love that for us. It's just so cool that, the first woman ever to be in space, and she just happened to be Latina, right? Or no?
So Elena Ochoa is the first Latina in space. Sally Ride, it seems, was the first woman in space. And I recently learned of Ochoa because I've been seeing a lot about the first Mexican-born woman in space, because Elena was born in Los Angeles, California. The woman that I've been seeing, she has a Barbie now, but I'm not getting her name. It's not coming to me.
It's Dr. Kat Echacerreta.
Okay. Yeah. So she was recently the first Mexican-born woman in space. So I'm loving all the Latinas in space, Latinas in STEM. I wish I could be a STEM girly. Science and math, they were not my subjects.
Didn't Liana, didn't you say you wanted to be an astronaut?
I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
See?
Threw that dream out the window real fast. But I would love to go to, because I know they exist, those zero gravity rooms. Like I would love to just see what how those places are like, and just experience it. I think that was what I wanted when I was imagining little tiny me, the big helmet, being in space.
I can see it. So cute.
It's definitely not the same, but I'm pretty sure at Disney there's a ride that's like a flight simulator, and you get to there is, isn't there? And you the thing shakes you and moves you around. Yeah.
I love that, right? I don't think it's Space Mountain, but it's like Space Mission or something like that. I love that ride.
And they literally tell you not to get on it if you get motion sickness. They're like, this is not the ride for you.
It's a warning. There is a warning when you're about to get on it. They're like, if you get motion sickness and other things, if you have a heart condition, they're like, do not. We advise that you do not get on this ride.
Christ.
And I think when you're about to enter at the entrance, there's a regular ride and then an intense ride. I think that's how it goes. It's a red and a green. I did the less intense. And then there's another one the one that I went on was the regular one, and I thought it was intense. I could only imagine what that red pathway was. No. Because you feel your face falling back. It's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, but it is intense. We failed the mission, my cousins and I. We can't save the world.
It's about as close to space as I'll get. And the news that NASA or somebody is tracking an asteroid that's apparently the size of 43 alligators. I think I saw is how they measured it.
I think it's supposed to hit 2040 something.
Something like that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Exciting for us. Fun stuff. So the other one is it's very well known in the New York area, but I included her because I actually learned about this person through you guys. And I don't know if it's just the region that I was in is the reason or what, but Celia Cruz, the queen of salsa, and the information that I've heard, you guys, her life story, so many layers to her story. So I have a snippet of a snippet of a snippet. So if you would like to do more research on her, please do. But she was born in Santos Suarez in Havana, Cuba. Her mother says she began singing as a child at 9 or 10 months old, and her professional career began when her aunt and her cousin would take her to cabarets to perform, when she was growing up in Cuba. And in the beginning, she was kind of following dreams that her father had for her. She had attended the normal school for teachers in Havana with the intent of becoming a literature teacher. However, the pull to singing for her was so strong that she eventually chose music and studied voice, theory, and piano at Havana's National Conservatory of Music. Then in the 60s, again, a snippet of there's so much in between all these things that I'm talking about. she moved to the US, which had angered Fidel Castro so much that he barred her from ever returning to Cuba, and she never did. Like after she left, she never went back.
Mm.
But this began her US crossover when she joined the Tito Puente Orchestra,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
her flamboyant attire and crowd engagement like propelled her, like shot her into like superstardom. And the genre of salsa music, which of course was already big in Latinx countries and then became extremely popular in the US. And then in 1990, she won her first Grammy. And currently, she is set to appear on the US Quarter in 2024 as a part of its American Women's Quarters program. And she will be the first Afro Latina to receive the honor.
I'm excited for that. You know I'm gonna go
Love
that quarter.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people like in the New York area know her definitely, but I didn't growing up.
Yeah, I knew her through my grandmother. And then I remember when she passed away, it was a very big deal. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember if the ceremony was here in New York, but I remember watching it on TV with my grandmother, and it really affected the Latino community at the time because they were losing such a legend. And she was always known for her flamboyance,
Yeah.
like her scarves, her dresses, and her wigs. They were always so bright, but that was her character, and she really like knew how to pull it off, and her singing was just amazing. Yeah, she was big, and at least with my grandmother, that I do remember.
Yeah. I mean, she was one of the firsts, I think, in that genre because salsa is a
Male dom.
male dominated genre, like in the Latinx community. And she kind of like broke free from that. She was like, I'm going to do this, whether you like it or not. And she did it. And it's, when I hear her story, it reminds me of a lot of like Selena
Mhm.
because
Right.
they're not exactly the same, but there's a lot of parallel where it was like Selena really wanted to
Mhm.
be in this music genre, in a genre that was mostly
Also,
dominated by
yeah.
like males, and she did it. She
Yeah.
broke out from the norm.
Yeah.
So
I was seeing that when I was researching her because, again, a snippet of a snippet of a snippet, you guys. Like, I'm so serious when I say that. I think I read a story about how like a manager did not want her to join the band when she came over to the US because they were like, it's never gonna sell with a female lead singer. Like, you just aren't gonna be successful. Obviously,
Mhm.
that's not how it went.
Uh-huh.
mhm.
Her life was very interesting. I really recommend that you go read more about it because there's so much more there than like the 30 seconds that I just provided you guys.
Um, there are two songs that I like from her. La vida es un carnaval. That's my favorite song from her. And then the other one, oh my god, I know that. Damn, we're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. The other song that Celia Cruz sings is "Ríe y Llora," and I think that was like one of her like last songs she made before she passed away. Um, love that song.
Was salsa really big for y'all growing up?
Um, I want to say so. Yes. Yeah. My grandmother in particular, there were a lot of Willie Colon. She liked listening to Willie Colon, Celia Cruz, among other salseros. So yeah, I think that was pretty big compared to like rancheros and other Mexican genre music. At least that's what I heard a lot with her.
For me, not so much. I mean, it was around, but it wasn't like the thing that my family listened to the most. It was more of like bachata, merengue.
Another one too, yeah.
That's really it. That's all we had.
How about
Yeah.
you?
So well, see, I was gonna say, I think it's definitely like a regional thing because like in Texas, it's a lot of Tejano and like the music that sounds like the rancheros that you would hear like in
Yeah.
Mexico. So I don't even remember the first time that I was exposed to salsa music, but I was definitely older, not like a child. So yeah, it was again like I learned about Celia Cruz from you guys. So I
Mhm.
mean that tells you how literate I was in salsa music. But it's definitely been interesting, especially in like there's so many women that I could have picked from for this episode, and I really like hate that I can't, do everybody or that like we're limited to like this, the 1 hour that we try to keep this episode so that
Yes, yes, yes.
you guys don't get too bored. So I picked a woman in STEM, I picked a woman in music, and the next woman that I picked is like in business. And I don't think she's someone that people would consider like quote unquote famous in the sense that we do like Celia Cruz or Selena or like anybody else, even Elena Ochoa. Like, I think people would consider her to be famous because so her name is Linda Alvarado. She was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She holds a bachelor's degree in economics from Sonoma College. Her father was from Mexico. She is the only daughter in her family, and she was raised with her 5 brothers. And she is the founder and sole owner of Alvarado Construction. She worked her way through college by working on her school's grounds crew, which led her to a job at an LA construction management company. And I read a couple of interviews that she's done, and her belief is that she got the job because she would only apply to jobs using her initials. She wouldn't put her whole name. Because when she tried to go get this job at the school's grounds crew, they were like, "You're a girl. Why do you want to be working with these men all day?" And she continued this method of only using her initials like early in her career when she would place construction bids. I only know a little bit about this because we did a case on this in law school where it's like, I didn't realize that these different companies will go and submit bids. Like, we'll do this work for you at this price with this materials and da 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 da. So she would submit her bids only using her initials. And she thinks like that's what helped her in the beginning of her career. When she was trying to start her business, 6 banks actually turned her down for a business loan before her parents lent her $2,500 after taking out a mortgage on their home at a 24% interest rate. And I was doing this really late at night. So I think that's why it made me cry because I literally wrote in my notes, I'm crying. Like, I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. They love her so much. Believed in her so much. Then in the midst of like building this construction business at the request of Colorado's then governor, Roy Romner, Alvarado became part of the Rockies, the baseball team's original investor group in 1991, making her the first Latino owner of a club in the MLB.
Wow.
That's crazy. Oh my God. I definitely think like her signing her initials really helped.
Yes.
Because what time frame was this?
Yeah.
Like the 80s, 90s. Because the investor group for the Rockies was in 1991.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
she was being very
wow.
smart about like her tactic and like wanting to, succeed. And she was just like, no, I'm not going to give you my full name because if I give you my full name, it's just going to give away. Then you guys are going to know that I'm a woman, and my chances are like slim to nothing to even getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
and
I
her
respect
very, very smart.
Right. And her construction company has helped build Denver's Mile High Stadium where the Denver Nuggets play. It's helped build the Denver International Airport, amongst other iconic buildings in Denver. And Forbes has named her one of the nation's 100 richest self-made women. And there were a couple of things that I really loved when reading about her story. One of them was that like she said in an interview that she was always told she would fail because she was both Hispanic and a woman, which like my mom, she never told me that I would fail, but she was like, it's going to be much harder for you. You have to realize that because, and she like, it's 2 negatives. And the way that Linda Alvarado thought of it was she was like, but I half thought to myself, in math, when you multiply two negatives, you get a positive. Right? Isn't that crazy? I never would have thought of it that way.
Wow. Woke.
Wow.
Woke. Wow.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's such an
Yeah.
interesting way to look at it too. Wow. 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 Wow.
Uh-huh. So that's what I've been
Maybe
telling
that's what I
myself here
needed
lately.
today.
Right?
Maybe I needed to hear that today because wow. Ah,
Right.
snaps.
I loved it. And then, okay, so her mom would always tell her something, and I'm going to try to say it in Spanish first. Again, y'all know I'm a no sabo kid.
Okay.
I'm trying. Y'all leave me alone.
No, leave the no sabo kids alone.
So her mother would
We
always
won't
tell.
stand for that.
I'm trying. I do my Duolingo every day, okay? I got like 125 day streak going on. Like, we're trying.
Listen, yeah, exactly. That's what matters.
Her mother would tell her, "Empieza pequeño, pero piensa muy grande." So start small, but think very big. How did that go?
Yes.
How was that?
Good.
Okay.
I understood everything
Yeah.
you said.
Great.
Yes.
Fantastic. But I love that. Like, and it makes sense because sometimes we get like these really big ideas and then you don't know where to start because it's so much. Like, not to
Yeah.
make it sound like starting the podcast, but like we started like big and then we realized that wasn't working. So we came in and focused on one thing at a time.
Mhm.
And like that helped in the process so much. But honestly, like the thing that I'm going to carry with me from this woman is that's two negatives, my dude. Like, it's a positive. It's math. It's just math.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
Oh.
And of course, I will
Amazing.
link all of the websites where I got this information from in the show notes for you guys. I really encourage y'all to go read more about these women. There's tons of material out there. On Linda, it's a little more scarce because, again, she's not like a quote unquote traditional famous woman. But it is out there. I read her Forbes interview and it was really good. And then there are a couple of interviews with her from like the 90s that she had done when she was working with the investor group for the Colorado Rockies. I just thought that was really interesting because I really like baseball, and I think I've mentioned on here before. Like, one of my things when I was little was to be the first woman in the MLB, and it's kind of cool that there is like, yeah, there's no female players, but there's the first woman and the first Latino. Actually, I don't know if she was the first woman, so I'll take that back. But like the first Latino was a Latina in the MLB. That
Mm.
was pretty cool.
Wow. Interesting.
Wow.
Fun facts.
So cool.
Very informative. Wait, wait.
Who did you guys bring today for show and tell?
Show and tell. So I have Cristina Martinez. She migrated from Capelhuac, Mexico, and she's actually known now as a Mexican chef in South Philadelphia. She crossed the border twice to come to the United States, and reason being was she had to escape from a domestic violence relationship that she was in with her husband. And at the time, she did have to leave her two kids. And while she made a life for herself here in the United States, she worked a couple of jobs in the restaurant business. She was cleaning dishes to make ends meet. She became a pastry chef at one of the other restaurants. So she was working two restaurants at a time at one point. So she was working at those two restaurants, and then she actually remarried while assimilating here. And she was able to, I think she was able to bring one of her kids back to the United States, but unfortunately they had passed away at a very young age. And two of her kids still live in Mexico today, I believe. And now she is the owner of Casa Mexico in South Philadelphia. And the reason she got the restaurant was because when she was little, her family taught her how to make barbacoa. and barbacoa is, I think it's goat. It's
Oh,
chivo.
uh-huh.
I
Mhm.
don't know if you've ever, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, very good, and it's very hard
Yeah,
to
I've
make.
heard.
Honestly, yeah, it's like slow cooked. Not everybody can make barbacoa or chivo, and she learned how to do it, and that's what actually got her restaurant. She is well known now in South Philadelphia, and she actually has a couple of pop-ups here in New York City selling some barbacoa and other items on her menu. But what was amazing about her story was that while she was, building her restaurant, she and her husband created the right to work movement, which was basically to spread word about the working conditions for undocumented immigrants in her county, at least in South Philadelphia. And she was trying to, bring awareness to, their working conditions. They weren't getting paid enough. And that like blew up. And I didn't know about her until, again, doing some research, like you said, Christina. And there's like a lot of things that just happened to her in between, with her just making her life here in the United States. And it's amazing, like her story and how far she's come, and building herself and making a name for herself, but not just for herself, but also like just speaking on behalf of undocumented immigrants in the restaurant business. There is a podcast on her life,
Mm.
and it's called Mejor Vete, Cristina, or otherwise known as um better, how does that translate in English? Hold on. How
Better go or better leave
Okay.
or something like
Oh,
that.
you better leave. Yeah, you better leave, Christina. That's how it translates. Mejor vete, Cristina. Podcast, who's hosted by Univision's reporter Inger Diaz Barriga. She interviews Cristina and her family. So at the time when she was going to interview Christina about her life, one of Christina's son passed away when she was about to do the interview with her. And so instead, the reporter went to visit her other kids in Mexico, and they touched upon like how was life when their mom left. And it was really the kids who wanted their mom to leave because they saw the relationship that she was in with her husband and with their dad, and they couldn't bear to see it anymore. That they told her, no, you need to leave. They forced her out, and they're like, we can't have you here anymore. We want you to be safe. And yeah, so she tried twice to come to the United States, and she came in through Coyotes
Oh,
to
wow.
yeah, she came in
Jeez.
through Coyotes to come into across the border. And now she has her restaurant, she has this movement. And even during the peak of COVID, she was giving out free meals. It's crazy. Yeah. But she was inspiring to me. Shows that as a woman, as a mom, she knew when to leave her situation and do what she needed to do for her kids and for herself. And she's been awarded like a whole bunch of restaurant chef awards. She's known by the Zagat, and recognized by Bon Appetit. I don't know if you know them,
Mhm.
but yeah, and I'm a foodie, so I found out she had a few pop-ups here in New York City earlier this year, and if I had known about her, I would have gone because I love barbacoa. But her story just it touched my heart, and when you think you know someone's hurt, you think you know you're hurt. Like if you go through your own things and you just realize like, there's somebody out there just going through it, and but she's inspiring. Her story.
Wow, that's so crazy. It must
Yeah.
have been so hard for her to like leave her kids behind. Like I can't even imagine. Like this isn't by no means any kind of comparison, but whenever I leave Rex for like a weekend away, like my heart is breaking. Like, and that's just my dog. Like imagine like an actual human child that I have to now leave behind and not know if I'm ever coming back. But that's crazy. That's what a sacrifice she must
Yeah.
have made to like live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is
Gosh,
crazy.
guys.
Wow. Because you know that chef life is not easy. And then coming over, definitely not easy. Like, no
Mm-mm.
part of her journey is like, that is really inspiring.
Yeah. Like I said, check out that podcast. Or she's actually in she makes an appearance in Netflix's Chef's Table.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
maybe we need to take a trip to Philly, is what I'm hearing. It's a train ride away, you guys.
We could drive there.
Okay, yeah, we could.
I was
Even better,
thinking.
even better.
Let's continue.
Liana.
Let's continue on with.
Okay, so the person that I picked, she is also not traditionally a famous person or by any means, but she's verified on Instagram. So I take that as she is a celebrity. Thank you very much. So the woman that I picked, her name is Fabiana Ferraini. Ferraini. I butchered that real bad. So sorry. But she was born in New Jersey, but she moved to Honduras with her family, and she lived there for her until she was 6 years old. Before she came back with her parents back to New Jersey, and her story is inspiring. I'll start by saying that I chose Fabiana because as I started my own fitness journey, I struggle a lot with body image and like my own self-confidence and like how I look myself in the mirror. And she just, while she also struggled with that in the beginning of her own fitness journey, like she celebrates all of her body's flaws, her stretch marks from when she was pregnant, her scars from when she was pregnant, her cellulite, her like extra body fat. Like she just celebrates all of it. And she's not afraid to show her confidence. Like she basically is like, it's, I know I look good. And this is going to sound like really bad, but it's more of just like, I feel good in my body. And so this is how I am. This is how I look, kind of thing. And it's something that I'm still struggling with to learn every day. Like, you know, I struggle with that even though I work out all the time and I eat somewhat healthy, like it's something that it's hard for me to like go on Instagram when I'm trying to find a workout and I don't see people who look like me. You know, they all have like the nice non-cellulite legs and they don't have like the hips or they don't have the curves or anything. And then I came across Fabiana's page and I was just like, oh my God, finally I can like, she has all the things that I have. She has all the things that I struggle with. And look how she's killing it right now. She's killing it. And I love that. So yeah, that's why I chose her. So I'll tell you a little bit about her life. When she moved back here from Honduras when she was 6 years old, she went back to school and, you know, she was bullied as a kid because of her accent, because of the different clothes that she wore, because of like the different food that she ate. And like, as I was reading about her, I was like, oh my God, I used to be made fun of for this all of the time. I remember, I think I've mentioned the story here where I was in school, I was in lunch, and I really wanted like a piece of bread that they gave in school. They had a piece of bread and they had the little cartons of chocolate milk. And I put my bread in the chocolate milk and everyone was like, that's so weird. Why are you doing that? Like I was bullied for that for a little bit. And I was just like, I remember all those times and like she just came out from it. And now she's like all over, like she's all over TV hosting like workout classes for like celebrity hosts and all that stuff and for celebrities on their own. Like it's just kind of crazy like how she came from all of that. And then fast forward a little bit, she became a mom she became a mom when she was in high school. And regardless of becoming a mom at such a young age, she was still able to finish her school, but still able to graduate from college. And she also suffered from postpartum depression with both of her kids, which I think is something that we don't talk about a lot in the Latinx community. Like, I don't really see it. Maybe it's because I'm not in that world yet, but it's just something that's like something that kind of goes unspoken a little bit. And she talks about like how nothing really made her happy, regardless if it was her kids or anything like that. Like, she just really was going through it, and she found her purpose again through fitness and through health and through working on yourself, which I think something that everyone needs sometimes. And so during the peak of COVID, she started Queen Warriors, which is her online live workout classes. She created a community of over like 30,000 members in 90 different countries, which I think is amazing. And I think it's fantastic. She really talks about, so the way that her sessions work, it's like 30 to 45-minute workout sessions live. And then after that, she ends it with like empowering affirmations, which I think is another thing that's really cool, because we don't talk nicely to ourselves. And we talked about that on this podcast, where it's really hard for us to look in the mirror and be like, you are doing so great and you deserve everything that you have and all that stuff. It's very hard for me to do that. I'm not going to speak for you guys, but very hard for me to do that. And to say that, to know that there's someone out there that is like enforcing you to do it is inspiring. And that, my friends, is Fabiana Feriani. She is on Instagram. It's Fabiana _ Feriani, which is FERRIRIRINI.
Oh my God.
And scene.
I forgot to say that. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, we'll put all the info in the show notes, because Christina Martinez, the chef that I chose, she's on South Philly. Oh no, her Instagram is Barbacoa Chef
Oh,
on
that's
Instagram.
cute.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that food looks amazing. Wow, that's crazy. No, but that, you know what, your person, Liana, it's great that not only that she's giving like a workout, but she's at the end of each workout, she's speaking positivity. She's speaking all these affirmations. So, yes, we did a killer workout, but we have to like also feed our minds, right? Exercise our minds to have positivity, to know that we are, affirm that we are beautiful in and out. And that's beautiful in
Yeah.
itself. Doing both of those things.
Oh, I love this episode. The more you know.
Women empowerment, the more you know, Latina women empowerment. We love it.
What is that? That little like have you seen that meme with the star? It's like the more you know. That's yeah.
With the rainbow.
Yeah. We hope you guys enjoy this episode. We hope you learned something. And if there's anything that you want to teach us, send us a DM, send us an email. There's so many more Latinas that we could have talked about this episode, but again, we try to limit ourselves to an hour. We're always watching for y'all's DMs. So I'm currently chatting with one person in our DMs who's showing me a lot of Korean R&B artists, and I'm very excited about that.
Oh.
Yeah. We did like a little sticker on our Instagram this week because it was a dreary Monday here yesterday. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to know what was getting people through it. And yeah, they said that Korean R&B in their audiobook. And I was like, "Oh, I'm an R&B girly. Let me know. Put me on." And indeed they are. So
We love that. Oh wow. Korean barbecue. Korean barbecue. Whoa. Womp womp.
Are you hungry, Amanda?
No.
But Amanda and Liana, are there any women y'all want to shout out for Women's History Month? Anybody in y'all's lives?
To all the women in my life, happy Women's History Month. To every woman in my life, because every woman in my life has shown me independency, love, care, everything. So yes, to every woman in my life. I appreciate and love every one of you.
Amanda said
Hopping
you're
on
gonna
that.
catch me something.
And bouncing off that, yes to all the women in my life. Happy Women's History Month. Thank you for making me who I am today. And special shout out to my cousin who just announced that she's pregnant again with her second baby. So congratulations to her on that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Love that.
Aw.
Babies.
Yes. No.
Well, congratulations to Liana's cousin. And to all of the women in y'all's lives, happy Women's History
Yes.
Month. For me, yeah, all the women in my life. I spent the weekend, like I said, with my mom and my cousin. It is so interesting to watch a teenager navigate the world. Put me back and like, when you're like hanging out with someone younger than you and you're like, what was I like when I was this age? And then you just like get all these like memories. Yeah. That's kind of where my headspace was this weekend. Honestly, would not be anywhere without my mother. Love her very much. Big fan of her. Yeah.
I recommend. This is where you go. I recommend.
Right. 10 out of 10 recommend, but for me only. That's my mom. What is making you glow this week, you guys?
It is my cousin's birthday on Friday. Yes, so we will celebrate over the weekend. I'm excited for that. And it's also a women's event only. So,
Oh,
yes.
Aw,
Look
happy
at that.
birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. We've come full circle with the Women's History Month. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that this weekend. That's what's making me glow.
My glow this week is Norn and I are traveling to Canada on Thursday. We're gonna go see his family that's up there. Gonna see his grandma. She's turning 25. 25. Wow, what a
I
year.
was like, where are we?
What a year. No,
like,
no,
that's
no,
a
no.
young
So
grandma.
sorry.
I was
Younger than
like,
Norin.
I wish I was 25.
for real.
Celebrating her 75th birthday.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what happened there. You were like a quarter,
Her
Yeah.
third 25th
quarters of
birthday.
a century older.
Yeah, her third
25th
25th birthday. So that should be fun. We're bringing our boy Rex, so that'll be
Oh.
exciting.
Oh, how long is y'all's drive?
How long is? Thank you.
It's going to be 8 hours, so we're adding 4 extra hours for stops and stuff, so 12 total. We drove to Florida, so I can only assume we can make Canada work.
I was about to say,
And it's about the same, right?
Florida. Mm-hmm.
Florida's like 16 hours. So Canada's like half that.
But with this, like
God.
12 with the stops, and then
Tw-
Canada was 16
12 with the
even
stops, and
without
then
stops?
no, Florida was a full day with stops.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see. I
Yeah.
see. Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
very exciting. I love a good road trip. Not gonna lie.
It's fun. I love road trips. They're cool. But not up north. I would prefer down south.
Oh, it's gonna be
This is
colder
true.
up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Canada is nicer, so
Canada is nice. I went to Montreal a couple years ago. I loved it. It snowed, but I loved it.
I would like to go.
yeah.
I would like to go one of these days. Yeah,
Cool place.
what's making you glow, Christina?
I am actually traveling this week as well. Tomorrow I am heading out to LA to see one of my friends that I actually don't think I've seen her since we shut down for COVID 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been that long, maybe. But I'm going with a couple of my friends. So I'm on PTO for the rest of the week. By the time this episode comes out, though, I will be back. And hopefully not traveling again for a minute, staying put. Actually, that's not true because I think I have to go somewhere in April, but we'll see what happens. Um, I'm very excited. I think this is my first travel trip with these friends. I can't think of we've done like little like drive, like I've been to a concert with one of them where we drove to New
Didn't
Jersey.
you? But didn't you go on a trip to like the Poconos? Didn't you go skiing or something like that with the
Oh
same group that
yeah,
we're talking
yeah.
about?
Oh yeah, I did. I went skiing with everybody with the yeah, with this group of people. So there you go. Amanda knows my life better than I do. Yeah, we did
They're
go
listening to
skiing
this like,
together.
wow.
The whole trip. That trip was right before COVID though. Like we went on that trip and then we came back and it was spring break and yeah. So
Was it
it's
that
like a
same year?
it was that same year, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
But we're flying to LA together to go visit our friend that we went to law school with, and we're all very excited. It's gonna be cloudy in LA though. I was hoping for the sun, but whatevs.
Ew.
I
What's the
know.
temperature? What's the
60s,
temperature?
low 60s. I know, right? That's what we were saying. We were like, WTF.
Listen, it's
It's not
better than
Jamaica
what it
weather.
is here. It's better than what it is here. So,
I mean,
take what you can
yes.
get.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But you're right, it is
It's
not
not
Jamaica weather.
No, it is
Amanda.
not. I still need to I need to pack for the trip. I'm about to do that. But yeah, that is what's making me glow this week, and also coming off a visit with my mom. I'm so sorry about my voice. I don't know what is happening. But yeah, that is my glow for this week. Very exciting.
But yeah, you guys can catch us every Wednesday with a new episode. You can stream us on Spotify, Apple Music. You can watch us on YouTube as well. Rate, subscribe, review. Let us know what you think. Let us know how you're glowing.
And don't forget to check us out on Instagram at Glowing Up Latina. Like our posts, share our posts, share with us how you're glowing. Send us questions for the Q&A. We are slowly approaching or should I say fast? I don't know. We're just approaching the end of
Quickly
the season.
approaching.
So yeah, quickly. We're approaching the end of the season. So please send us your questions for Q&A the last episode. We'll be doing that with tech support. And you can also send it to us at our email address at glowinguplatina@gmail.com.
And until next time, keep glowing, mija.
Bye.